find out in a second. I woke up feeling like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? All right, enough of that. Good morning, good morning. That's not morning anymore. It's morning for you. You're 3,000 miles away from me. So how was your weekend on the coast? Lucky woman. How are you feeling? I'm having a bad hair day, which is why it's there. It hasn't really tamed it. Still seems to find its way in my eyes and all that, but no sense in complaining. Eventually, I will get to a beauty parlor and I will have it lopped off. But given that company's coming, and that company likes my hair long, I will wait at least 2 more weeks. All right, I do have the garbage here. I was missing it earlier when I was on the other side of the room. So I actually moved my butt out of bed early today. It's not that I'm not up early. I'm awake, like today, unfortunately early. But no matter what time I wake up in the morning, I do not get out of bed right away, other than to go to the bathroom and get my tea and my banana and my protein bars. And I bring them all back to bed. And I sit in bed and I play my games until I'm done eating. Today was like I hurried the eating, gulped down my tea, didn't even bother putting heat underneath it so it'd cool down fast. You know I'm going to rush then. And I knew I did not get enough sleep, but it was like, get your ass out of bed. You may as well start getting used to the time change because our friend is coming from a land that is 5 hours away in the time zones. So with that, I need to be getting up earlier. And I am really eager to get back to Toblerina. So we no have no Toblerina until we finish the gingerbread at least a little more. And we do have another backdrop to do. And I'm still wearing a watch. Laundry. When I do laundry, I actually put the watch on. Okay, I can take it off now. It's not that it bothers me to wear a watch. It's that I keep getting it caught on things. And the Fitbit, I'm able to shove up there better, I guess. And it doesn't get in the way quite as often as the watch. Anyway. All right, so this special one, I want to go ahead and I'm going to continue to work on it. I'm going to put down the windows now. And we are going to have some different windows here. So I'm going to do these with the third dimension. Now, I would have done this to these other gingerbread rocks. Unfortunately, they were already painted with the base coat, and this stuff won't stick very well to this, because we already discovered when I was changing this from what was looking like a nose to a window. So it took a bit of work and some drilling down or sanding down, and we finally got it to look like a gabled window. So that'll be fun to paint later. But first, ta-da! And we must get this done because this stuff, we're down to here, and this stuff dries up very quickly. Yeah, okay. I need like 600 people to manage what I do. Or at least one more than or one person that is me but knows what they're doing. One of those work. Okay. I am wetting the surface that already has had a very thin coat of this on it. Like attracts like. Actually, like adheres to like in this case, not always. When you're talking chemical stuff, there's lots of exceptions. There's no one rule. You have to always read the directions on the back of the container. You might have leeway to do different things. You may not. And then, of course, there is, after that, experimentation. And we've been experimenting with this little container. And I have concluded I'm really not into it. I do not like this stuff. I have got to make a better effort somehow. I hope they haven't stopped manufacturing the stuff I was using and really liking. You know how that goes. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm making a window I want to be slightly three-dimensional, as if it's a cookie that has been attached to a bigger cookie by frosting. So we are going to make a cool kind of a stained glass window. Now, for those of you who have never made stained glass cookies in real life, I have successfully made the cookies. They were not successfully edible, but they looked gorgeous. You could use them for ornaments, and that year I probably did, unless I was so embarrassed I just threw them away. For those of you who do not know how to make a stained glass cookie, it's basically your basic sugar cookie using cutouts. And you want to make little holes in the cookie dough after you roll it out and cut it, lay it on your cookie sheet, which should have parchment on it, by the way, which I learned the hard way. Put your little sugar cookie out there, make your little holes, and then smash to hell some colorful, I think they call them Jolly Rogers was the candy. Basically, a transparent but colored hard candy anyone will do, because any one of them is made of sugar. If it's made of sugar, it'll work. You crumble it, you put the crumbles in that empty space, try not to get it on the cookie, have your tweezers handy. I'm serious. I'm a perfectionist. I don't like little dots of color if I'm making a stained glass window. So, yeah, I made beautiful cookies. When you put the crumbled candy in there and you bake it, it melts. And then when it's hardened and you pick it up, you can see through it, and it's the color of the candy that you laid out. So it's a really clever little trick. It's great for entertaining children. I'm one, so I know. All right, should I have a big round window? We are going to do, oh yeah, we're going to do candy cane window frame. So I realize you can't really see what the hell I'm doing that way. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to my new eyes, and it's yeah, it's been strange. I can't seem to yet break the habit of squinting as if that's going to make me see better, but that no longer works because these are no longer my lenses. They're plastic, acrylic. Okay. Yeah. Still in all, it's a miracle that people can do this, We can get new lenses put in our eyes. It's like, wow. And so many wonderful things have finally been figured out by humans, devoted humans, talented humans, brilliant humans. And it's a shame we're killing the planet and ourselves, because all of it's going to get lost. With nothing around to keep things going, with people not around, it does descend into dust again. And that's a very, very sad scenario. And it's unfortunate because the rich people who don't want to get less rich, and that's really the problem behind all of it, we get used to inconveniences. We get used to having to change our ways. That's always left to the little people like us. The really, truly wealthy are the ones pulling the strings. They don't want their profit margins to drop. So we're going to see crap happen. The poor countries who need help are supposed to be getting help so they can get substitutes for the stuff causing so many emission problems, things like that. But everybody stalls when it comes to helping others. It's like, this is a whole planet we're sharing. It's not like just one country. So, get your thumbs out of your ass and get this straightened out. Because we're losing time here. I just think, it used to be when I was a kid, and not even a kid, a younger person, just 10 years ago, cancer. You hear the word cancer, and that was a death sentence. When I was little, it was like the C word. No one even wanted to say it out loud. I thought C was the other C word. But no, the C word, meaning cancer, we couldn't talk about it. Nobody talked about it. It was frightening to even bring it up. And now, most cancers are curable. And if you get them early, way curable. And even the ones like the one I have, it's not curable, it's manageable, it's remarkable Just even being able to diagnose what I had was a miracle, because they didn't know what it was until 2010. So people, we're learning all these wonderful things. And I was thinking, that got me going on this subject actually, was burn victims. One of the most brilliant things that we have created is being able to 3D print tissue for burn victims, skin. And it's the things that we're doing are such miracles. Each one is an amazing event. And we just take it for granted because we're overwhelmed with information. You know, everything is, and especially lately, you know, politics, and you know how involved I've been with that, at least verbally, right? We need to appreciate everything that we have. Many of us, and probably everybody listening to me, is kind of in the same boat. There are places where we do really well. We would like to do better. We also are vulnerable to all kinds of things, and we don't want to have to screw things up or take the chance of screwing things up. And for those who know me well, you know that that's been a long time issue, you know, the last 6 years in particular. So, I'll circle around with that thought there. Hold on. It's squishy. Yeah. All right. Humans are miraculous. We can be total assholes, but we really are miraculous. We can adjust, we can change. But what makes it harder is that those who don't want change are in charge. When I say they're in charge, I'm talking about like when you turn your TV on, who's doing the advertising? Guess who's in charge? You're only seeing that program that you tuned into like because of those people paying for it. You say, yeah, we know you get this audience. We want that audience to buy our product or be more open to our product. So we're going to advertise it when we know this demographic is in front of the TV. I mean, it's all very scientific. And every time we answer a questionnaire or play games on Facebook or answer quizzes, things like that, we're giving away our data that tells them how to sell to us better. And that's what it's all about. Every single one of those things you see is all about making money, your money, out of your pocket into theirs. Now, my father told me this when I was like a little kid, and I just couldn't grasp it. The problem is all that money, the people don't want to change. It's doing a lot of negative stuff for us because we have, on one hand, been able to use our bodies to create on this planet so many wonderful things. And here we are, so, in some cases, so arrogant we think we can't fall. We're taking out the rug from under our own feet. When that teenager Greta couldn't sleep or go to school and focus because she became obsessed with the future. You know, she was at that age, which is that we say that age, hormonal, but it's that age is when they're understanding what's going on in the world and they realize how previous generations basically screwed them over in terms of what their now life expectancy could be and their comfort zones and whether they can even stay in the country they're born in. Now, upstate New York just got, Buffalo's got 6 feet of snow, and it's going to be like 7 feet in some places by the time it's done because it's still snowing. And that's never happened before. The people say, oh, upstate New York, they've never had that kind of snow before. and especially at this time of the year. And basically, it's because things are changing. And what the scientists have been saying with climate change, which is not the same as the weather necessarily, we see it reflected in weather, but it's not, you can't confuse the two, because then you'll think, oh, well, the weather's always changing. The weather changes, but what's happening is, like the scientists predicted, the weather's getting more extreme, you see. So we're going to have to learn to work together, and we're going to have to all work toward the same goal of saving the planet, because as things change that are not within our control, we're going to find ourselves in situations and circumstances which we also cannot control. Not taking action now is basically removing our control over our future. So what do you do if an entire region, like 1/3 of the United States, just goes into desertification, like Southern California? No water, water drying up, intense heat wave after heat wave, things that normally protected things burning. What happens to all those people? When they see it happening, they have to run for their lives. And if they can escape, where are they escaping to? Talk about a homeless situation. So dealing with climate change is not just about surviving a couple of nasty storms a year or something. It's going to be like massive changes that are going to force us to change. And that can get very extreme, obviously. What do you do if you're living in a town all your life, you own property, you don't want to go? I mean, who does if you love your home? But now your winter means several storms dumping 6 feet at a time. It's not like you could just evaporate that 6 feet of snow. Where does it go? Where do you put it? Boston had a face of that. It was just a few years ago that it was, I don't know, June or July, like July 4th, when the last of the snow from the previous winter melted. And as it was melting, it was revealing all the things that got taken up in the snow by accident, like shopping carts. So, yeah, it's we're seeing this happen. It's happening in front of our eyes. We're getting affected by it. As long as our resources manage to keep putting us back on track, at least temporarily, it's easier to just not think about it. But like the teenagers, there are things I can't stop thinking about. I know that, well, on one hand, I've got an advantage. I'm an old lady. I'm not as old as I can get, or as old as I'd like to get, but I'm not going to have to face what's in the future as severely as you younger people. And for members of my family and their children to come, believe me, I am plenty concerned for all their well-being. I've got half my family living down in Florida, which we already knew was prone to storms because it's a peninsula and it's down there where hurricanes are always forming. So no surprise when that kind of thing happens. But this year was like, oh my God, where did my aunt go? She's 90 years old. The area she was living in was just decimated. Luckily, she had just gotten to a new place, so she survived that. But what about the next storm and the one after that? It's like I just wish I could take all my friends and family right out of Florida and move them someplace that it'll be a little less extreme. But now they're getting like a cold wave down there. I got a friend down there, and she's like in the 40s. They do get a winter down there, despite what some people think about Florida. It's their winter. It's not like a winter up here. But then again, them getting 40 degrees, that's like up here in New England, 40 degrees. Like, whoa. And we're going to need some more water on that. Perfect. I didn't mean to be like, a downer or anything. It's just I cannot stop thinking about the future because we're still going to go into it just one day at a time. I don't want to see people safe. I want to see people happy, which actually does bring me to the biggest point of all the shows that I've taught, and that's about love, the power of joy, the power of bringing those things, that energy into your own life. Oh, Exie, hi. I'm sorry, I don't know how long you've been there. I've been babbling. Actually, not babbling, but talking while I'm working, and I have not been looking at the phone. I hope you are well today. But I was just saying about love being the energy that we have to use instead of the fear. We need to not ignore reality. Things are what they are. There are things we can change, things we can't. But the subtle changes we can do from wherever we're at, regardless of our circumstances, regardless of how much money we have or not have. And that is using our energy. Some people believe, it's meaningless. It's all in our minds. And it does have to start in the mind. If you can't focus your thoughts, then you're not going to be doing much good for anybody, including yourself. Nevertheless, there are plenty of people who poo-poo the idea that thoughts are energy, and energy is transmutable and moving and something you can actually manage. Now, I don't want to sound like a broken record, although this is year 14 of doing shows. It's inevitable for some that I'm going to sound like a broken record, same things over and over. The more you spend time in that vibration of joyfulness, of gratitude, of literally just smiling because you have tapped into being grateful for everything you have. We can focus the same amount of energy on what we're lacking, and we can make ourselves miserable about it, but all we're doing is planting unhappy seeds into our future, seeds based on fear, or the other things that are not good, jealousy, like I can't stand it, but like keeping up with the Kardashians. Really? Keeping up? As a comedian pointed out, she said, you notice it's keeping up with them? It's not like exceeding them, equaling them, nothing like that. It's just trying to keep up with them, like they're always superior to us. I think that in the whole idea that you have to keep up with anybody, that makes you inferior, not superior. But that we're not playing that kind of game. The point is, it's not what other people are doing, it's what you're doing. It's not what other people think, it's what you think. If you have witnessed the universe having your back, if you have known when the universe is winking at you because it just showed you something, let you know it has your back, that it's there, it's hearing you, and it's saying yes. If you already know that, it should be easier every time you try to smile and find things to be happy about or grateful for. To move forward, it shouldn't even be something you have to think consciously about. It's like you just go, oh yeah. And you recognize that lightness in yourself. Love is the power. Pure love and compassion is all that powers this universe. In the world of humans, we see all the stuff that we came here to experience, basically. All the contrasts. There's no contrast where we're from other than, well, there's energetic contrast, but not in the way we see it. There has to be contrast because without that, without some friction, nothing moves. And so there's that. But it's not like good and evil. It's not all black and white. It's not how people keep insisting on seeing things here and dividing things here. In any case, you know all of that after you die. Until then, though, you're here, you're human, and your body is your mechanism through which you experience being human, right? Your human body, your human brain. And being human, as we know, is extremely challenging. So just for being here, you should congratulate yourself. Because we know it's tough. We know we're looking at a lot of stupid in human. So that's where you have to let go and trust that despite the seeming chaos, there's actually more things in order than you would guess. Which is why, again, it's important to be here now. Focus on what it is you want to create, to do, to see. Whatever it is for you, do it. But everything you do should be something, and because we're human and we're basically inherently selfish, which is proper, or we never get anything done. Airplane. You will always work toward something to make yourself happy. We don't do anything other than that which we believe will make us happy. So pay attention what makes you happy and try to do as much of that as you can, whatever that is. Oh. Now, we do have human limits, civil limits. So if it makes you happy to go on a murder spree, I'm not telling you to do that. Obviously, if I'm telling you that the world works on love, I'm not going to tell you to go and destroy things. We are a creative species, and random killing is not what we're here to do. That is an aberration, and that's an energetic aberration, which brings me back to energy. When we are focused on anything, we are vibrating at a very specific rate. And when we are doing that, that vibration speaks to the universe, the language, like music. And it's telling the universe in a way that your words cannot. Exactly how you feel, right in the moment. And the universe, which you can think of as a giant magic mirror, is reflecting back to you as close as possible in the moment, whatever it is you're feeling. So is it easier to sit there and mope, do nothing, feel nothing, or just feel annoyed? Or is it worth the effort to pull your shit together, check in with your brain and see where you're at? What are you thinking about? How are you feeling? How do you want to feel? Because if you check in and it's your body and your mind are saying, I'm not comfortable, I'm not happy, this, and this is getting to me, then you're like the only person who can speak up for yourself. If you wait for someone else to do it for you, you're going to be waiting for a long time, because nobody can actually read minds. You have to say what's going on. But that's why it's so easy to communicate with the universe rather than another human. Although you can use the universe to get messages to other humans. Again, you have to appreciate and understand how you can use energy. You can direct energy. Can this be scientifically proven? I guess you can do your own experiments because you know what you want, and also you're inside your mind all the time. So Only you will know in the moment when the universe is winking at you, saying, got your back. Yep, I heard you. I told you I'd get you that. Universe always listening. Kind of like, you know, our telephones and the internet. Okay, I'm gonna end up making little round windows. Those are gonna be candy canes. And then they'll be light inside and little crossbars. But I'm gonna have to use the etcher after this hardens. I don't think I'm gonna be able to manipulate it exactly the way I want. But we'll keep going. Now, what do I want to put in the front? Now, I know this is a little bit more elaborate than I usually go into a rock. I mean, I did plenty on this. We got the wreath, the candy cane, the cookies, and, you know, the only thing I didn't do with this was a chimney. But I got so much other stuff on it. I felt like enough's enough. I'll never finish this rock. And this could get to that point. So I'm going to have to focus all the cool stuff on the front of the rock and one side, because you can't look at the whole rock at once anyway. And when you put something on display, it's going to have to face somewhere. So when this rock is on the shelf, the way it will sit, and most of it be seen, you'll have all the three-dimensional elements easy to see. And on the back, we're just going to mostly just try and keep it simple. We're going to make some flat cookies. But first, I need one more item here. And somewhere in this, I was thinking of a snow person. On one, I had a mailbox, and I was able to paint Santa's, I think, or North Pole. I painted something to indicate it was like North Pole or Santa's place. I just don't remember exactly what it was because I did like 5 rocks that season, and that one was something I ended up making for somebody specifically. So, yeah, I can't remember, but it came out really cute. But we're going to have this, that, and the other on this. Maybe another window? I think I'll go ahead and do a snowman. Or snowwoman. It's a little bit more challenging, but I got plenty of this stuff, and it is for somebody special, and I would say that she's definitely worth the effort. But then so many of my friends are. I just don't have the kind of time to make all-out special things for everybody. Now, when I was on the farm, I did my best to make something really personal for each person in my life. At least locally, that was usually baking. I did baking a lot, every day. Well, I guess it should be a little rounded, huh? Silly me. Snowball. It's been a long time. I haven't done anything outside in the snow in years. Come on. We're just going to have to think snowball. might be too small. I have to put a little top hat on it or something. We'll make it a girl. We'll make it a snow woman. Whoops. We'll make a couple extra bumps for her. Come on. Although I think it'd be cuter if we had an apron on her. If we do that, then it'll look like definitely a female snow person. All right, a snow person of the feminine variety. Maybe. Okay, just a little gushy. All right, let me just put this down, look at it. I think we need to bring that down a little bit closer to the floor here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to need some help. But I think we better let this harden, and then I'm just going to put some more on top. So I think we'll score this a little bit. It's going to have to be rounded. But the stuff cracks if it's too thick. Okay. All right, we'll just leave detailing to the etching tool when we're all done. In the meantime, we're just going to have to let that harden up. And I will move it over here, away from me. And remember, if you use putty or wood filler, anything like that, don't count on the lid to do anything. Make sure that you've got plastic wrap touching it. And if you're going to do it long term, take a piece of clean sponge, cut it to shape of your opening here, and then dampen it and put it inside on top of the plastic wrap, and then seal it. And that will help you not waste money. Okay, I am going to go wash this off my hands. Is the car loaded? Oh, I haven't gotten pics yet. If you sent them to my Kindle's not even in the room. And it doesn't make any sounds. But I will get the Kindle in just a minute. Okay. Resignation. Retry. Problem with the server. Are we still live? It looks like we're alive. Am I alive? I see myself there. Yeah, there I am. Okay, just making sure. Not enough available storage. What are you doing to me? It opened to my game. My SimCity game today started telling me not enough storage on your device. Well, there's plenty of storage on my device, so I'm really not understanding what's going on, and I've restarted it, and it's like, why would you even say that? How could you lie to me like this? And stop trying to sell me things. My God. So, okay. If you send picture on Messenger, I can now get it. Okay. So, who is here? Alec, are you on the road? Exie, are you working? Make sure we're alive. Oh, there we go. I send blue hearts. Hello. I don't see them. I don't see them there. Oh, they're showing up where? I don't see them there. Oh, this is very strange. I don't see my chat reading out. What's the problem? Oh, there you are. How weird is that? Streamlabs. Okay. All right, back to work. Back to work. We need to get this done. Oh, we don't need that anymore. All right, so we have here, we need a Christmas tree is what we need. Oh, and I was doing the bricks on this, on the chimney. Got it now. Let's finish those. Okay. Yeah, it's almost time for me to start putting together a list of the large tubes of acrylics, the basic colors. Oh, I'm so excited. Just gotta, yay! Guess who's coming over? But I have an absurd problem now. I have to make the last 2 pumpkin pies that I made for our friend, and he loved them, was Marie Callender's frozen pumpkin pie. Now, I make a decent pie, and I have everything I need, except cloves. I have no clove. Clove turns out to be the #1 distinct difference between apple pie spice and pumpkin pie spice. Now, I was willing to buy some pumpkin pie spice out of desperation to get the clove because I couldn't find it in the store, but they were out of that. I was lucky enough to get apple pie spice just so I could bring it home, smell it, taste it, and see what can I do to make it the pumpkin pie spice that I want. And then I'm looking at the ingredients to say, wait a second, I know this is a really short list. It's only got 3 things in it, and I always use at least 4 or 5 spices for pumpkin pie. What the hell are they? I can't remember. It's like, clove. And I went running through my big thing of spices, and no clove. I can't believe it, but 'tis true. Now, I don't know how well he will remember the flavor, but it will be different from Marie Callender's regardless. What I have for the apple pie spice is nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. Heavy on the cinnamon. So that's the same first three that I would throw in. I could even do without the allspice and just go with fresh grated nutmeg and cinnamon, cardamom. But, oh well. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to a grocery store before Thanksgiving to check, see if I got lucky. Normally you do not hold a brush this way. And this is more like it. Alrighty. I made a mistake already. Well, let's just do the best we can. Suffer on through. I always wanted to work with mortar. I worked with bricks, but the only thing I did with brick was I used its own weight and balance to make it into what I needed. And I really enjoyed working with brick, but I never made anything permanent with mortar because I wasn't sure what plans I'd ever fall in love with and say, yeah, I want to live with that garden plan indefinitely. Once you add the mortar, it's kind of like a permanent structure. The only way you can take it apart is with a hammer. So not having the strength to do that, and not wanting to waste mortar, I just balanced. And I never had a problem. The stuff lasted as long as I wanted it to, and I got tired of a design. I took apart my brick creation and piled it up and reconfigured it. So I used to keep planters on the side of the house. and I changed the planters according to what I was planting. Because without mortar, you do have to let the dirt settle in before you plant, because for a little while things do come through the dirt comes through the cracks wherever things don't meet exactly. But it doesn't take that long. Now, I did a walkway also out back, and I did like it, but it wasn't anything fancy. It was very practical. But I decided it came out so good in general. I was like, yeah, you know, I don't need to keep reinventing this. I'll just make it permanent. Never got around to it. It's like I planted chamomile and thyme in between the bricks. Did okay, just you can't forget to water that stuff in the summer. Not that I had to worry. We had all those dogs, and they were always getting washed outside. We'd go out for a walk, they get in the creek. Sometimes the creek's a little low, they get a little muddy. Gotta rinse them off before they come in the house. Okay, almost there. Need to make a little correction. Oh, wait a second. Did I do it in that? No, can't be that. Another problem with the server. You guys having any problems on your end? I haven't heard anything back from either one of you. So now I'm wondering, are we even alive? I'm in some kind of rock heaven. Come on. There's a teeny bit. There we go. And you. You guys are starting to concern me. And where's Charlie? It's Saturday. Ah. I'm getting message. Oinkness. Tap now to download. Tap now to download. Tap now to download. Oh my God, gorgeous view. Oh wow. Wow. Beautiful. Can you hear me? Am I still on? I'm not sure if I'm live now. It looks like I'm live, but I can't be sure. There's nobody here and answering. And I've had a couple of exceptions where it said that there was a problem. I'm not sure where. It looks like everything is doing the same thing it always does. I'm trying to write the word beautiful and it comes out Bratislavla. What? Well, my texts are going through. But that doesn't say anything about the show. Okay. Just in case, I will continue. If you heard a crack, that was my neck. We don't need much. And I need a little brush, different brush. Okay. Spell correction keeps making this very difficult to say. Okay. There we go. All right, we need to make this a little cleaner around the windows. There are cookies, theoretically. Mamma mia. You can't hold it by that when you're just finished painting it. And my finger ate the paint. As long as it didn't get anywhere else. Whew. Okay. And that one, I think, is almost done. Wait a second, what else? Oh yeah. Almost done. Oh, I picked up a bag of something sweet right after saying, don't buy a bunch of junk because you're going to be baking cake stuff. Cake and pie. Probably cookies too. A small bag of dark chocolate and peppermint covered pretzels. Now, the first time I had that, this by the way will only be the second time. The first time I had it was like 6 or 7 years ago. It came as part of a little Christmas gift in a gigantic Ghirardelli mug. And it had hot cocoa mix and some white chocolate peppermint coated. I thought pretzels coated in chocolate, that's disgusting. And of course I was wrong, because now they're selling it everywhere because it's really pretty good. So I got some. Haven't tried them yet. Saving them for Monday or Tuesday. All right. We need the other one again. We need some water and a little bit more of this dark chocolate paint. Come on. Let's try that without looking disgusting. Yeah. Okay. They have now been chocolate frosted. The windows, that is. Okay, I think that one might be done. Seems like we got it. Although I think once I get some of this stuff done, we can start adding some, like a little tree on the side here and there. Okay, it's your turn. We need to do the chocolate frosting and the crosshatch on the door window. Oh yeah, I forgot doorknobs. We can do that with white because, after all, we're not going for realism. It's cookies. It's all chocolate and cookies and frosting. Do all while I have the paint out. Okay, no splitsies. There we go. Now this one, I've got way more to go. So I got a little bit white paint there. That startled me. Good move. Painting my finger. Okay. Oh. Sip of tea. Oh, it's so strange. Where is everybody? Is this even happening? Are we here? I can't tell. There's no talking. There's no... I don't see anything in the chat. How strange. Oh, where is my... I can't see anything. Welcome to the chat. Okay. And so, welcome to the chat. Okay, this one needs a whole paint job. Put it out. Okay. We are getting there. Change brush, please. There, oh dear. So, let's see. There you are, Exie. I mean, worried. I was wondering if I was even alive and I needed to, like, start all over. Like, hey, this is not happening. Oops. I need to slow down there. Are you working? Oh, good. Well, I am afraid to see how much time I actually spent sleeping. I'm tired. Yeah. I did sleep very strongly for at least 4 hours, I think, but I just didn't get enough sleep. But today, there was a reason I pushed myself to get up. Number one, I did want to get into the laundry room before it became crowded and terrible. But also because company's coming, and company is used to being 5 hours ahead on the clock. So I want to make his jet lag as easy to get through as possible. So I got up early, closer to what would be his normal wake up, I guess. A little closer anyway. A potion book. What kind of potions? My first attempt at a business was called A.R. Martyr, Notions, Potions, and Free Advice. And that was in 1975, I think. That was in addition to my music. I made natural body care stuff, like face masks and things to calm down sore skin. No, I guess we're going to put a tree in front of that. Are you a herbalist? Have you studied herbology? Well, you know, there's no such thing as supernatural. But do go on. I mean, you have to understand, the show started originally to teach people how to be their own best psychics and create their own magic, but do not rely on magical spells or potions to make things happen. You studied cinema. I see. Hold on a second. All right. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Okay. Anyway. Wait, he's typing back. Well, there are courses. I did not take a course, but I started studying herbology when I was 15 because my parents were sick and they couldn't tolerate anything. Every time they took one thing, they had to take a medicine for the side effects of that medicine. So that's when I started studying herbology, and um, I made all my own medicines on the farm for 17 years. Okay, you, Exy. All right, Exy. While you can learn everything for free online, you can also pick up a lot of very dangerous misinformation online. And I know this for a fact because I studied this shit for years. I love herbology. I've grown my own medicine. I know a lot about it. I have forgotten more than people I know. You need to buy yourself at least one good resource. And here's something you need to also understand. What grows in Turkey does not necessarily grow here, and things that you think are named one thing may not be the same thing in this country. This is why we have separate herbology. We have Chinese herbs, we've got North American herbs, that kind of thing. So you need to get a herbal that is reliable and it has actual science behind it. One of the best countries to do this is actually Germany. Germany, definitely a forerunner in making sure that when a herbal product claims something, they can back that up with science. It's really important because you can poison yourself if you do not know what you're doing. You can just waste your time and energy and money if you don't know what you're doing. But the problem with the internet is it calls upon a lot of free resources, but they're bad resources. They're resources from the 1800s. Those were not good resources, believe it or not. Some people were really good at observing things and they wrote it down. It was great to learn from them. But unfortunately, a lot of people did not know how to do scientific things, and how they survived some of their own prescriptions, I don't know. So you need to get something that covers the local herbs, because you can't expect to import everything Why? Because there's a lot of dishonesty in the industry because there's nobody watching it. There's nobody to say, yes, this package contains exactly this herb. We tested this herb and it's definitely this. Not even here in America. I managed a little health food store in California, Southern California, just for a year. It was enough. What I saw about the inside of that industry was so upsetting that that also became a teaching moment. So learn, absolutely learn. I love herbology, and the more you can learn about your environment, edible foods, edible herbs, what you can do with the different things they do, you will understand what we talk about when we talk about slow medicine. Using herbs in your daily life, not making a big special to-do out of I mean, you can make some special things. There's some really potent stuff you can do. But actually, some of your most potent medicine is garlic, onion, ginger, the magical triad, the holy triad. There's a good reason for that. And on top of that, hot peppers. Like hot peppers, like jalapeno is good enough. You don't have to have a super hot pepper, but you need the capsaicin. So there's awesome medicine you can make and keep yourself free of colds and congestion. There's good stuff for the bowels. Learn your medicines. It's definitely worth learning about it. I recommend, I've been saying for the last 30 years, people are going to be needed as the world changes. We're going to need people who can fix things, people who learn and can teach things properly, and people who can find food and grow food. Very needed. You need to be able to recognize and how what's out there, how to forage, and who can make medicine. You need to know your local stuff so that in case of an emergency, you can still survive. So you need to educate yourself in a way that is not going to be found just online. You have to get your ass out there. You've got to start meeting people. You've got to see who has the herb shops. What are they selling? How are they dealing with it? You need to learn from someone. If you can find a local mentor, perfect. And then think of yourself as, what is your motivation for this? Do you want to heal people? I mean, that's the idea, right? You want to help people. So if you want to be a healer, then there are courses you can take. But the reason I said get yourself one of those books, an encyclopedic book, in these herb encyclopedias, you will also find all of the basic instructions you need for making your medicines at home. How to make suppositories, how to make cough drops, how to make syrups, how to make tinctures, how to make salves, how to make your version of Blistex. All that stuff is really basic, and you'll need to study that. And then you just have to practice making things. I would have to say it's one of the most wonderful things I've ever done. But now I don't have to take care of anybody but myself. And come on, give me my live chat back, damn it. When you say fully fantastic, you mean you're making them up? Damn it, why is my server going? Are you having glitches? Yeah, look at that. What is it? Oh, yes, you did express yourself incorrectly there. So you're creating fantasy, and you're going to be explicit that this is all fantastical stuff. You're not selling this as an actual meant to be taken seriously and for people to make these things. Very smart. In that case, freaking awesome. Go for it. As long as you're upfront with everybody and they can't make those things and kill themselves or others, more power to you. That is something that actually can sell. Harry Potter crowd, you know? Wonderful. That's awesome. I do the real thing. So when it comes to herbology, the real thing, I'm very strict about it because people have bad information all over the internet, and they think that following in the footsteps of these old idiots, just because they were old and a long time ago, yeah, this woman had that. No. They didn't know what they were doing half the time. You didn't even know how to measure things. No. If you're going to make things that people are going to swallow, you need to be really on your game. Okay, now this is going to have to dry a little bit because I'm getting this stuff on my fingers again, and we can't afford to keep going over and over and over. So it's time to work on the collage over the river and through the woods. Be careful, don't fall over. Thank you. Okay. We are going to need that, and I'm going to need that. And we're going to need the art. And very soon I'm going to need tea. My tea is gone. Hey, Charlie. Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Excellent. So Charlie, aesthetically, if you were talking about your layout, the layout itself looked very nice. So, you know. Oh, I think these big trees should probably be done with that, right? It matches better. Okay, well, let's move things aside. Okay. Ups, downs, loops, around. Yeah, I'm so lazy. I'm going to reply to your email. That's okay. I'm so lazy. I haven't checked it. Because I've been busy. That's usually my issue. I don't get to my email. I do not get to my Call Me Galen email more than once a week, actually, because I don't get a lot of mail here on that business one. And yeah, I got a bunch of emails. Every time I have a new show name, I have a new email to go with that show, so I know where I'm getting things from. Be safe, be sound, be very round. Sounds here like 4 different writing softwares and dozens of layouts. Not quite. Well, good for you. That's the artist in you, Charlie. Cool. I like artists. Actually, I don't like all artists because artists are freaking crazy people. Not all crazy is fun to be around. And I especially don't like crazy for the sake of being crazy. And you may not know what I mean yet, but you will eventually if you get involved with anything or anyone. Some very tiresome things people do, almost like a crazy contest. Look how crazy I am. Look at how I can do this. Well, I'm an artist and I have to be like this. It's like, yeah, you're just annoying. There is a difference. Well, so far. I mean, you haven't lived your whole life yet, but leave some room for change in the future. So good. So it was a good day, generally speaking. I mean, in general. You'll be back in a minute. Okay. Oh, these have to be smaller and further away, so that's not going to work. Hold on, Let's try that. Let's go up that way. Boy, this stuff's tricky. I really like it, though. So I had to get my fresh newspaper. I knew you went to the coffee shop, or were getting ready to go there. Tell me the story. Oh, with your mom. Oh, that's nice. Free ride. Oh, how come you didn't have classes? But that's good. Surprise, surprise. Which guy is this? Oh, no shit. Okay. So which guy are you're talking with now? Ooh, that's a good question for Charlie. But I want to hear the rest of this story first. You mean like a robot? On, off, on, off, on, off? I'm tired. I'll just turn off for the night. That's actually not a bad idea. Oh, I'd like to sleep now. Okay, let me find this. Let's look at it. And how old is he? How old? Wow, very interesting. How old is he? Yeah, actually, though, he couldn't turn all the way off because he's got to be on enough to know that he's off and aware when he wants to be able to go back on. So it's got to be like a semi-coma. A sleep button. Oh, okay. Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome, Charlie. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, add that to it. The ability to set a timer for being off. Good point. Okay, so the old guy was there. Ah. Was he married at any point in his life? That came out a funny shape. I guess it's all right. Coming up for the also don't have class because general strikes general, right? Okay. I can picture that. You don't know? You don't know who the old man returns to at the end of the day? You should find out. Okay, go on. How much of your personal story does he know? You're gonna have lunch, all right. Gotcha. Okay. Now, the couple of friends, one of them is a female, right? That, like your best bud, the chickie poo. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, he has been around a while. What did he used to do? So he's into the same stuff, or just you philosophizing across the board? Yeah, maybe there. Wait. Okay. He's been there for 50 years. That's what he's always did. I don't know. There where? Does he work at the coffee shop? Yeah. Okay. I think we're on the same page now. Okay, that sounds like what we old people like to talk about. At the newspaper store, I see. Okay, making more sense now. Oops. Shy. Oh, I'm going crazy here. I'm losing everything. Hey, stand back up. Okay. My eyelashes have gone wild. All right, you said. Okay. I get the picture now. Wise old man. He probably even knows how to read that stuff he sells. So, were you just hanging out there while your mom was doing her shopping thing? Oh dear. I think I did too much here. I did. So let's move it over. I'll put another one here. Duh. My goodness, it's thickening up now. So we get to the bottom of the container. Yeah, we're gonna have to move you over. Hey, you want to go there instead? You got plenty on you. No, I don't like that. Okay, let's try this. Stand back. Okay. Okay. Where the sofas are. Wait. Last message that starts, they have some worries. Did something get caught in a mod thing? Doesn't get caught. So we talk for a while and someone comes in. Original plan was to get the newspapers and go to the coffee shop, but I stayed there. All right, so now here I am, get a phone call. It's like 11 a.m. My friends want to go to the coffee shop. Did you get the last message? It starts, they have some worries. No. Let me go up there and look at the screen and see why I didn't get that message. Because it did not show up in the chat. 80 plus characters. Didn't you notice that it didn't print out? Yeah. It limits your messages. All right. So no, I didn't get that. Try again. Why is it looking like I'm going to have to turn a light on? Limit is 200 and yet I don't know why. But no, I don't see it. And Exie doesn't see it either. Okay, so nobody sees it but you. Can you copy and paste parts of it? Or I'm not able to do that, copy and paste from chat. So I don't know if you can. Ouch. Stab myself and lift that up. This is called being klutzy. I hope I didn't cut myself. Hey, get on there. Now, try not to get stuck. Or knock everything over on the desk. That does not really want to stick. Why? Oh, why? Not enough goo? If that's the problem, we know what to do. Add more goo. All right. The distant trees. The distant, dark, scary woods are up. Not the leaves, but, yeah. Now I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Larger trees for up front. How big are they gonna be? About that big. Oh, that is so pretty. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, the point is, they were worried because we'd have breakfast and lunch there in one sitting. So they didn't know if they'd get bored of the place. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, it turns out February is, which used to be the case last year, that he'd have lunch with us, but not nowadays because, right. Well, did they know you had a problem? Why would they tell you? Probably showing the camera pointing down because it's larger and closer. You too. I'm trying to catch up. Hold on. Wait. Sorry. Did it? How would they know to tell you, or they just didn't? You know, they don't know that for any unusual reason, right? You mean they just didn't tell you that there was more than the usual, or back to the old usual? Kids are so inconsiderate. Go to sleep. Get some rest. Close your eyes. Think the best. I'll be back on Twitch in the morning at 10:30 a.m. like every Sunday for the non-sermon. Show it to the camera pointing down. Yeah, you're right. Da, 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 da. Right there, it's down. Yeah. Now that I'm hitting everything with it. Oh, so he's there now? 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 This late? Quiet for about 90% of the time. Well, that's boring as fuck, isn't it? Maybe he's just really insecure. Well, what do you think about it? I mean, does it still feel weird when you're in the same place, or is everybody over that? It's like yesterday's news. Let's move on. Where'd it go? Not you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces. I think I probably need food or carbs or tea at least. My brain is starting to go wow 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 wow. You'd have to be into old music or musicals to know. You too? Oh. 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 Ah. Well, that's crappy after having a nice conversation with Mr. Old Wise Man. Bummer. Sweetie, be more secure. Yeah, be more secure. Be taller, you know, be exactly what you want to look like. You know, you have no reason really to be insecure. But tell it to your head, huh? Well, you are home now and you're in your own cave and cozy. Get yourself some good sleep. The world is always easier to handle when the brain is well rested. I am myself going to get a cup of tea and bring my lamp over here because I've become a silhouette again, somewhat. And I need to have more light to make sure I'm doing the right thing by this. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I'm off to getting a cup of tea. Turn on the kettle, get out the spoon. When I get back, we can dance. If you're talking, I can't see it. Oh yeah, I don't want to get in copyright domain hell. What's three things I haven't said I was going to sleep? I thought you're getting ready for your sleep schedule. You're trying to get yourself into a schedule. And stop calling me bro. See me in a bit. Go to bed. Where's my lamp? Come here, lamp. I'm trying to walk around without slamming my head into things and tripping on cords. I'm surprised my telephone works at all today. It took 3 nice slams to the floor yesterday. There you go. Alright, my tea is going to be happening in just un momento. Yes. Water. Must have more water. Drink your water. Oh, it's getting more and more crowded right here. All right. Let there be light. If you want me to stop the story, then fine. Go on. You left off with he's awkward. He's making you feel awkward. The awkwardness is like spreading through the couches, the sofas, the cafe, the coffee shop. What? Go on. Keep talking. Just remember to limit your stuff. All right. Oh, this is so pretty. I hate to make that thinner, but we are going to put plant on top. So, that is so pretty. Anyways, why would I try to anger you? Anger is not a good emotion. It's not usually helpful. I'm not stopping you from typing. Okay. All right, so closest has to be the biggest. Here. The broadest. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bada bing, bada boom, it's over. Well, that's very nice. So, where was the crappy part? Really? Oh, really? Oh. Right, okay. Yeah, it looks like that. Cool. It's like, yeah, like we own the place, man. We're cool. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky, isn't it? Oh, all right. Right, I do remember the occasion. So, well, that's always flattering, isn't it? Well, he doesn't think you're a queen. So, the guy that thinks you're a king, is he hot? Is he the hot one? Very brisk. I see. Really? Well, I didn't think you did it for that reaction, but that was a consequence of your action. Shit. I gotta think a second. If I want these to show up, I'm gonna have to alternate with brown anyway. Oh, that's not cool right there. Let's get rid of that. I don't know. Oh, bro-esque. I see. I see. Right. Yeah, I totally get you. Yeah. That was not what was behind your action. But him being that kind of guy thought he was giving you a compliment. Yeah. Accept it on the surface and, move on. Did anybody echo him and make it further embarrassing and off the mark? No, I get it. So that was the downside of the meeting there. That was not the worst thing that happened. I mean, as long as everybody's not walking around saying that about you, it ends where it ends. Oh. So what do you think they see when they're looking at you? Someone with confidence, probably, even if it was temporary. I have a feeling you walk with confidence. Even if it's projected. Yeah, probably. No, I understand. Nevertheless, it's an observation by other people. That's how you're being perceived. You should know how people are perceiving you. If you don't like how they're perceiving you, then you would have to make an adjustment in your behavior once you figure out what it is they're judging to be that way. But you're not the first person to be misunderstood in school and all. That could be worse, Charlie. At least it's one of the in guys who thinks you're hot in a cool way. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me I got another problem with the server. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely a mode of operation. Yeah, it could be. But also you want to be on someone's good side. You're going to send out some compliments. And if you think that your friend likes you, then you're going to want to compliment you. So yeah, but I would say, Charlie, it's a good... The odds are with you, judging anybody in your high school as insecure. You were probably going to have a winning bet on that. Well, I got it on me. Okie dokie. This one's a little trickier. I hope that works. Charlie, keep in mind, and why they're saying you're the king, because it has nothing to do, I don't think, really with particular amounts of insecurities. I think it's just you got up and walked out of the class. Everybody wants to do that. You had the balls to do it. So you're being appreciated for that. Wait, this has to go. No. Not right. Hey, don't you go anywhere. All right. Okay, I think I got it. One, two, okay, the pieces are numbered. Let's see if I can get them all here where I want them. Front to back, toward the middle. I guess that's what it's going to have to be. Just try not to tip over. It's coming from one point and held together by someone known for it's not necessarily a point. All right. And to stay there. All right. And what is this leading to? Is this something that just floated amorphously into your brain, or are you describing something in your head or something else? Because you're working in your head and describing things that are completely opposite of what I'm working on right now, artistically speaking. So I'm wondering what your point is. The unknown force, it could be thought, it could be gravity, it could be surface tension. Nope, you lost me on that last sentence. You sound like AI illustrating the lyrics to White Rabbit. That's really what, who's they? Don't do that. I got it, my friend. And what is this from? Yeah, I can see the image in my head, such as it is, but you're not giving me context. Like you're looking at a game, you're looking at an image, you've got something rolling around in your head, you took a hallucinogenic. I mean, like, give me some. What's this fucking about? Well, the question's not even in existence until I know what the context is. Just other than that, it's just rambling. So take yourself out of the ramble and let's have something grounded here. You said, here is an impression of friggin'. What are you looking at? What are you thinking? I don't know where your brain is at with this and what you're aiming for in telling me. You think that's what other people see when they look at you? You really needed to get into something more theatrical than finance. You need something to express your artistic side. Creative writing class or something. Oh, no, that's going to stand up straight. Well, that's how you feel. They don't see that. They see a guy that went and did something that every kid wants to do. Just flat out break the rules. That's what you did. You didn't do it just for the idea of breaking a rule. You did it because of your own personal principle about the thing, and so you were doing it because that's what you wanted to do. They looked at it like, wow, he's got balls. I wouldn't do that. I would be too worried about mom and dad being called, and you didn't give a shit about that. And they just don't get that. Your question is what? How they saw you? Well, they don't look at a car wreck and they don't look at a wreck of a car. No matter how you may feel inside, you came across as confident. Even if it wasn't a momentary illusion. There you have it. So you stood out for that. So cool. Let them go with it. I always let people believe whatever they want to about me. I don't argue. Someone's your friend. You don't have to explain. If they're your enemy, they'll never believe you. So just be yourself and don't worry. It's not important how they see you. It's important how you see you. And how you want to be able to see yourself 10 years from now. Trying to compare yourself to other people is the biggest mistake you can ever make. You cannot compare bamboo and an oak tree. Both are beautiful, both are strong, but they're different from each other. So to compare yourself to anything else is foolish. It's always self-defeating, and you never get the truth. So fast, slow, irrelevant. Also, it's a dangerous question to ask, because if you say one or the other, that puts you in a different position, either inferior or superior, which neither one is true. I'm going to have to let this dry and think about this now, because I have to be able to put all the woods up here, the green stuff that goes on trees. But that's not what people really do, is it? Especially at your age, you judge on surface. They don't know you. They just know what you did that they thought was cool. They don't know you well enough to know what your actual motivation was, and you didn't take any time to explain it to them because you had your own insecurities. And hey, it's cool to be considered cool. But the only thing that ever counts, Charlie, is how you feel about you. The others are their own problem. All right. Yes, you have. That's what they have tests for, to compare yourself to others and check out how much juice you each have. How much vitamin C is in this fruit? Go forward and be fruity. But comparisons come with testing. Like, other than that, it's like, don't do that. That's how people fuck themselves up at every chance. They compare themselves to others, and as soon as you start doing that, you're going to fall short, or you're going to pretend or think that you're ahead, and either way, it's going to change how you affect your own world. You can't compare yourself. You're supposed to be an original. You are an original, even if you have many characteristics that are similar or even on a par with others. Irrelevant. You are you, and you're here to be you. That's it. It's a fatal flaw to start with comparing. That's how people always end up depressed. You can't compare yourself to others. unless you're just comparing like how fast you're running in the same race. Practical things. But in terms of who you are, what you're going to do in your life, it's very foolish. Newly acquired. Yeah, I know. You come across like the intellectual one, the thoughtful one, the philosophical one. Oh, a little bit of you cares about it. You're normal. That's just normal ego stuff, sweetie. It doesn't matter. But yeah, take it. You got a compliment? Take it. Don't argue with it. Take it and move on. Let people not understand. It'll work to your benefit later. I heard so much shit about myself over the years that was absolutely not so far off base and not true. It was like, where did you ever get that idea from? That kind of stuff. Because people talk and people think, and it has not necessarily any foundation in reality. And they'll do that with you, and you'll do that with others, and not really know what you're even thinking about. And so when people believe a mistruth about you, don't argue. Fuck it. Unless it's serious, like it's going to impact you getting a job or how you appear with someone that you want to impress. I mean, those are different circumstances. But in general, people that can be assholes and don't join the party by giving them any food for thought. I've heard, like I said, I've heard so many, just as being a single woman in the world, just working innocently, doing my job, going home, having a private life. Well, my private life was so private that people made things up about it, because people, if they want to do that, they do it. So I've heard all kinds of stories about me, and I just go, maybe it's true. Wink at them. Let them believe whatever they want. Let them go on wild goose chases. You stay busy, focused on what you want to get accomplished in your life. It's when the people see what you're doing, you don't have to explain anything. Oh, all right. Okay, yeah, I got it. It's like for $1, you can get a hole punch there, and if that number comes up, you won. Fun. We used to have those kinds of things in bar rooms, some coffee shops, mostly bars, where people would get drunk enough to buy a bunch of those things. Okay. Oh, cute. All right. No, I don't remember. I would not know about that, I don't think. Okay. So, as I understand, they would like. Wow, nice. Yeah. All right. Um, look at my weather. What on earth is going on? The sky looks strange. (33°F). Oh, that was this morning when I got up. It's 4 degrees Celsius, or 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's windy as hell. Gusts 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow is going to be sunny, and then sunny and breezy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we're going into the teens. Oh, poor Rich. Well, at least it's going to be warm indoors. It's going to be a bitter week at night. Oh my. Yep, it's very much winter here at the moment. But no precipitation, at least through Wednesday. But then Thursday, we're looking at things changing. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a good thing. It's vacation and we can do things during the week. What's actually most important for today, and that I wish to seek your wise advice on. It doesn't sound like a phrase that well, but okay. Anywho's. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. And, all right. So you saw him today or yesterday? Because you woke up today thinking about it? Oh, yesterday, all right. Oh, why did you change this? Oh, it was yesterday, okay. I got it. So basically yesterday, he was not very communicative. He seemed awkward and insecure. Is that it? Your assessment? Now, this is the guy you previously described as being like, the man about town, right? This is the guy that the rumor at least had that he could have any girl he wanted, kind of a thing. Oh, that could be true. Yeah, it could have been. That happens. It gives us a craving to patch things up, or rather straighten out what we had in our dream. Finish the dream, so to speak. Maybe. All right, here's my best advice in regard to that. It was an interesting observation you made yesterday. Everything went well, but you need to be able to pay attention to how you feel in the moment, and you need another day or two. So when you go back to school Monday, you'll see him again, right? Yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm saying. No, I understand what you're saying. And see, that's very interesting, right? That he doesn't seem to date anybody, but also your culture's different than mine. At my age, in my culture, at your age, then first dates would be happening. I mean, I am much older, and maybe people started dating earlier, but generally we would talk about it from 6th grade on, but we didn't really start dating until the first big thing at school where there's dancing. Well, I would say don't plan ahead with this, because you can overthink it and go in the wrong direction. And if you have it overthinking, you're going to have stuff in your head already planted before you get to see him on Monday. And what you want to try and do is stay nice and clear so that when you see him, you can ask your own intuition, should I or shouldn't I? You just have to ask yourself the question. You'll get an immediate feeling response, okay? You'll get it up here, you'll get it in here, you'll get it in your gut. You will always get a very fast response because the brain is super fast. So you need to do that in the moment and not plan ahead. I think being able to patch things up is a great idea, but the only way to know for sure is in the moment with that person, because me not being there and observing him personally, observing you personally, observing the situation, I really am not qualified to give you, intricate advice. Yeah, I don't do Instagram myself. I'm not at all involved with it. I barely can manage to do Twitter, and I know I have to get better if I'm going to promote Toblerina, but right now I'm mostly focused on the art, and making sure that everything is presented exactly the way I want to present it. Yeah, I know, because to some degree you look a little bit aloof, I'm assuming, from the way you've described things. Oh, that's where that one went. I knew I cut one already. But I need a brown one there instead. Dang. Maybe we will go down here. All right. That will work. I'm going to make it work. Hold on. Interesting. Well, have you kind of come across as someone who does not like gossip? So they're not likely to include you? Is that it? I mean, it seems to me like you're not going to come across as a shallow dude to these people, just by virtue of the fact that you get caught with a newspaper, and that kind of gets rid of that whole thing. Now, how did February guy act when he saw you with the newspaper, or did you notice, or was he one that did see it? I mean, you were just sitting there reading, you weren't posing, so I realized that things could happen around you when you're not even really pay attention. But I have a feeling if he walked into the room, then you would pay attention. I get it. Like, you're not part of the clique. You have your own little group of friends. It's a small group, and you don't communicate about some of the more shallow things that kids your age normally are associated with. So kudos to you on that. But yeah, you are going to be somewhat of an outsider in some circumstances, which is, as we know, not a bad thing. It can be actually to your benefit. All right. I'm going to have to do without tomorrow because, frankly, although I have the materials, my fingers are getting coated with this stuff, and that's going to be a pain in the ass for the rest of the night. And I need to make sure we've got all this stuff set for tomorrow. Because tomorrow morning we're going to work on this. But right now I've got so much stuff on my fingers, I'm sticking to myself. So about him, yeah, did he notice? Now the understanding right now is he's literally the only person in school that knows your secret. Or did you go ahead and tell your female friend? Yeah, that sounds it. Keep in mind that you have time. You have plenty of time. Time's on your side. You just started the school year. What's a newspaper bag? Oh, I see. I thought you started out with the newspaper guy before everybody showed up. Oh, I see. We don't have that unless it's raining. And then it's just a little disposable piece of plastic. Oh, yeah, who knows? Well, there will be more opportunities. If you are consistent, then things will start to form around you, and you will start to attract the synchronicities. But you have to be consistent yourself. It's like setting a stage. You set the stage. Don't worry about letting the other actors know what role you're hoping they will play. If they're meant to interact that way, they will. But you have to first set the stage and get some ideas in your head. And you just don't say anything to anybody. And you'll see the universe wink at you with things happening if you set the stage. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh. So you stayed with their shit too? They left their stuff in your charge? And then you stayed there and then they went away and they came back? Am I reading that right? And if you had gotten up, they would have all had to take their own stuff? I see. Okay. Oh, good. So basically, you enjoyed yourself. You did what you really wanted to. Yeah, that does happen when it starts to get busy. It's really funny because the last cafe I worked in, we had a library area with books, and it was a U shaped, like a horseshoe of couch kind of stuff. Yes, I knocked this over. So we're going to put it all together. I'm going to move this over, or I cannot do any more harm to it. Tea. I get it. Okay, I'm on with you here. I see. Well, no reason for you to not finish what you paid for. So, good. Strength of character. Yeah, you are. All right. Well, I wouldn't do anything pre-thought. All right. That's just, it's taking your intuition out of it. If you do it that way, you need to be aware at the moment. You know the expression, strike while the iron is hot? Well, the iron can cool down awfully fast. So you have to wait until you're face to face and then check in with your intuition at that point. Trying to imagine what's going to happen, all that, you're just going to trip yourself up and you won't be in the moment when it's important. So the more you can stay in the moment, the better off. Your reactions will be more genuine and you'll feel things that are more accurate. You can't pre-feel things. You can get a imagination, plenty. Believe me, I know about that. But yeah, I'd hold off. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't do anything. Wait until you're face to face again. Well, his side of things are kind of simple. They're way less difficult to understand than from your angle. He's straight, or so he claims to be. And if he is straight, it's a very simple answer. He's not into you that way. But doesn't mean you're not somebody he's curious about. His side of things, at least that time, was like, whoa, you caught me off guard. I'm not into that. Sorry. So how hard is that to understand? The line that we don't like to hear, I'm not into you, which people have so much trouble saying. People get into relationships that they don't want because they can't say, look, I'm really not into you. So, no, I would not ask him out again unless he displayed something that made me feel super comfortable in doing that. You know, otherwise, if you scare people, and you don't mean to, I know, but I mean, if you scared him, maybe he has a conflict going on. Maybe he feels like He's got the secret, and he's doesn't want to come out to you or anybody else, and he's fighting with it. He may not even realize it. You know what I mean? It's like if he's not ready to face himself, then you can't force that. What do you mean? Because why not? Because right now he's holding on to your secret. If you put pressure on somebody, which they interpret it as pressure, asking someone out is not a great pressure, really. But if they feel cornered or like, hey, I've already been clear with you, they could get hostile, they could get frightened, they could open their mouths and say things you don't want them to say. So, okay. Is this the same best friend? I thought you already told your best friend. And who was the other friend you wanted to tell? A different person then? No. Unless you want to make things extremely uncomfortable, I would push it, Charlie, just because you're feeling this urge at the moment. You probably did have a dream. You were exposed to him and you did have an attraction. So those neural pathways are in your brain. It doesn't mean it's real. So if you want to ask him again, understand that there is a chance that you can make things worse for yourself in terms of he may be more standoffish. It may become really obvious to the rest of the group, and he may not be the best at disguising his feelings. Yeah, well, are you haven't even come out to your parents yet directly. You don't want to come out, have somebody else out you if you're not ready for other repercussions that could happen. There's nothing wrong with you being you, and I definitely want you to see, I want to see you comfortable and happy, etc., etc. I just know that there are assholes in the world that can make young people way uncomfortable. And, like a kid telling their parents, and their parents being like off the rails, and the parents going to your parents, or the principal, or a teacher, or just being an asshole because they exist. I don't think it's as bad for you as it might be for some people here, but it just depends on where you are, the timing, the people involved. I can't predict that, neither can you. That's why I said be in the moment. Well, yeah. So he was really clumsy yesterday, huh? So how do you interpret his clumsiness around you? He's still uncomfortable with what you asked? He hasn't moved past that? He can't just look at you and be fine, like, yep, another guy, another person, another human? Well, no, I'm saying, look, he could be very complicated. He could be fighting with himself, all right? You know what you are. He may be fighting what he thinks he might be and doesn't want to be. I've seen it in my family. I know that not everybody is comfortable with coming out or even acknowledging that they are gay. And if they can't even acknowledge it to themselves yet, they don't want to be outed. They'll get hostile or frightened or do something stupid. Yeah, that's, yeah, I get it. Well, you have no need or reason to apologize to him. So, I mean, I don't know what you could really straighten out there. If he's that uncomfortable when you're around, I don't see how talking bluntly about reality would make him less uncomfortable, unless you really just want to pitch, hey, I'm just a guy, you can get over this already. or whatever you want to say. If you think it would go well, again, Charlie, I'm going to say wait until you're looking at him, wait until the moment, and don't go with your pre-thought. Go with your intuition in the moment, because that's the only time it's going to work is if you're acting in the moment. If the moment said, yeah, go up and ask, then do it. If the moment is saying, I have a bad feeling about that, then you got a bad feeling about it, don't do it. No, I'm not saying you are. Well, you're bored. That's the bigger problem. No, you're not a gay Jesus. You're not his Jesus. And he's a religious person, and he's conflicted, possibly. He may be very clear on how he feels. His religion is such that he can't have sex until he's married, so he's not flirting a whole bunch. It could be that he's closeted and doesn't even realize it, or you made him very uncomfortable by bringing to his attention something he's not ready to look at. In either side, as a straight dude or a guy who's not ready to come out or even realizes that's what he is. Well, what would you say to him? If you had him in front of you right now, what would you say? Hey, dude, you can relax around me. I'm not going to chase you. You're going to make him secure that he's safe around you. How do you do that? Oh, come on. You don't want to study it. You had a crush on him, and it would be nice if it continued to go in that direction, but it didn't. Now you're thinking, studying him, just like put him under a microscope. Would you like the same? Would you like him to make you his project? Like, God, I just want to understand him. Why did he ask me out? You want to try and explain gayness to a straight man? Do it. They need to understand. But I don't know this kid. I don't know how uncomfortable you could make him and make things in the future even worse. Maybe you will have the magic words and you'll soothe him and unruffle those feathers, pour oil over the disturbed waters, and reassure him that you're not looking at him with lust, gay boy lust. Even if you are, if you say something like that, you'll see him withdraw from the whole group or spill your secret to the group. This is why I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore. He hit on me. I'm not comfortable with that. You're wrong. It does happen. It happens all the time. Well, curiosity does keep us growing, but I think you're just wasting your energy. He's awkward around you. You're trying to intellectualize something that's very instinctive for this kid. It does. Exactly. So he can't be your project. If you want to make things less awkward, then take him aside quietly and say, look, you seem to be awkward when we all get together. You don't have to be awkward around me. We can just be friends. And then walk away and don't leave him standing there on the spot trying to come up with something to say to you. Let him a save face, for God's sake. If you want to do that would probably go a long way in making things easier for you guys to all get together as a group without giving away anything or embarrassing the poor guy. You're trying to intellectualize your curiosity about where this could go, where it might have gone, and, etc. But you're making more out of it because you just don't have anybody else to focus on at the moment. And you do see him being uncomfortable. So if he were a guest in your home and you had no designs on him, what would you do to make a guest more comfortable? You know, you got to try and reach out that way, Charlie. You can't just think all about how you are curious about wanting to study him like he's some specimen. He's a guy. He's a young guy. Whatever his issues are, you don't know them. And if you want to know him, you're going to have to ask him. It may just be the religious upbringing that you don't do this with girls, and so unfortunately it's leaving you uncomfortable because, oh wow, just because I'm not doing it with girls, a guy hit on me. Whoa, what am I projecting? He may have a lot of insecurities on top of just being a normally insecure 17-year-old. I mean, it's not like 17-year-olds have enough experience to feel secure in themselves. You have to turn 18 to think you know it all. And I agree. And I'm not saying you can't. It doesn't have to be a perfect world for you to discuss it further, but you have to catch him at the right moment to make headway. Otherwise, you'll make him uncomfortable, you'll embarrass him, and you'll just make things worse. You got to be really cool about it. You got to be like, hey man, I noticed you seem uncomfortable when we're all together. You don't have anything to worry about. And keep it straightforward, simple. And then if he feels more comfortable, he will speak up. He'll share with you again. And a guy wanting to hang out with another guy does not necessarily mean gay. I understand where you're coming from, and it's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if he's not ready, you're not his therapist, and I'm not saying that you should even attempt anything like that. I'm just saying you don't really know where he's at in his head. It could be a religious thing where he's just holding on to his virginity till he meets the right girl, and there are those, and you don't know him well enough to know if that's the truth. You just know he's religious enough not to spill your secret, which means he's fairly religious, and he may be one of those no sex before marriage guys. He might be the Catholic, you can't even masturbate because that's a sin to spill your seed on the ground. So when the opportunity comes up and you feel like you can say something to him where no one else can observe it, that's really rather important right there. Never bring up anything in front of anybody else. You'll lose his attention right there. He's trying to maintain his you know. You remember the other day I was talking about Jimmy Fallon, the late night talk show host here in this country. I don't watch the shows on TV because I don't have a TV, but I do see their excerpts that they upload to YouTube. And I watched Jimmy Kimmel, not Fallon, Kimmel. No, Fallon. Yes, it was Fallon. I get the Jimmys confused sometimes, but no, I know who they are. Jimmy Fallon he's definitely an excellent talk show host. Not just because he's good at what he does in general, because he's very talented and all that. But I watched him helping one of his guests save face. He did it so perfectly, so subtly. The person was just able to move from like this. It was just like, I caught that. That was brilliant. You are a good person. You're thinking about how that person feels. You're not worried about you and how you come across to the audience. You're just being really cool for this person, and you just helped them through that moment, and that was perfect. And that's how you appreciate and see, that's the kind of person you want to be if you're going to approach February dude. You want to make him feel comfortable around you so that he doesn't feel like he's on the spot whenever you're around, or he's wondering what you're thinking, and that can get really ugly. So help him feel at ease, like you're already friends, or like he's a relative or somebody visiting from another country. I mean, you've got to make people comfortable if you want them to trust you and feel like, okay, well, maybe I feel this way today, but maybe I'll feel differently tomorrow. And they want you to want them to be able to come back into your sphere of influence. Yes, that one. So be that for him. That's what a friend would do. You want them to feel more at ease. You don't want him to experience discomfort every time he's in your presence. It makes you feel uncomfortable and awkward. There's no need for it. You're not continually hitting on him, and so there's no reason for this. But there it is, that unspoken distance. And yeah, think of something, just say, to keep it short and sweet, to let him know you're not lusting after him. You're just, take a chill, guy. Take a chill pill. Well, that's why I'm saying, obviously you have this discomfort around him and he's clear, because if he wasn't acting that way, you wouldn't even have thought about it, right? If he just acted like it was every day and there's nothing different and all things being equal, there would be no issue. But he isn't. He's acting a little awkward around you. No, but that's what I'm saying. If you want him not to feel awkward, you have to approach this with your soothing, quiet, no more than a couple of sentences, rehearse speech. You need to say it when there's nobody at all within hearing distance, or even vision. If you can get him completely alone for a second, hey man, I just want you to know, I noticed you seemed uncomfortable around me. I just want you to know it's cool, we're cool. And then walk away. Don't make a production out of it. You immediately basically tell him like, hey, we're good. And then you take him off the hook. You don't stand around waiting for him to come up with something to say when he's not really sure what to say. So if you do it that way, guaranteed, when there's another opportunity, he will say something to you on his own volition. So you got to set up the stage. Well, go have fun. I am going to go and I'm going to make dinner. Sweet dreams. I see you tomorrow.